Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of the Patreon. Log on to LarryReidLive.com, click Patreon, sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
This platform discusses any and all information that has been made known to the public in any way at during all. That's a post, a tweet, or whatever is public. I'm talking about it. If the information creates convo that needs to be had, then of course it'll become a feature story up here on the LRL platform. That's when I talk about it. Now remember, I am not a journalist. I am, however, your most favorite comedic commentator. And all of the information that is shared up here on this platform, whether it's a post or whatever, always assumed it's alleged. But the commentary is going to always be real. All right, let's go. Larry Reid Live, I wanna be. Hey, what's going on with you? It is Monday night, so therefore I come to the studio and I do Larry Reid Live, and we have the conversation absolutely. This is more than likely our last time in this particular studio. Next week, you're probably going to see us go to a black studio as we are building our new weekly studio. Thanks to each and every one of you that have decided that you are going to contribute to what we are doing. First, let me thank all of the subscribers, the patrons over there in the platform called Patreon. And I am doing something very special for all of the patrons. There's a lot of things I have going on that's going to be presented on this platform. One thing that is going to be released, Zuri Craig got all social media influencers together and we done a live play here in Atlanta this year. And now it's going to be streamed. But my patrons, you get to watch free. Everybody else, you got to pay $5.99 to watch it through the holidays to rent it. And I'm going to tell you about that a little bit more in the show. But there's so many great things that happen over there. I bring all of my team of experts over. Every week, I meet with every last one of you guys for prophetic prayer. Yes, we have a great time up there. It is awesome. You should sign up for nothing else. If you don't sign up for nothing else, sign up for that each and every Sunday. That's where we come together for group syncopation of my spirit, declaring, speaking over our day, what we want our week actually to be for the next 7 days. And then I bring all types and kinds of experts and therapists in to talk to you, where you normally would have to pay so much money to talk to these therapists and these people that talk about the stock market, and you get all that information for 40 cents a day. So you need to go ahead and sign up. And if I were you, I would sign up for the annual. Why? Because we're in the 12th month. And it's for 12 months. 12 times 12 is 144, 40 cents a day, 144 one-time annual fee. And you will be a part for the rest of your life or until Jesus come back to get this here raggedy church and judge it with you in it, because you raggedy too. Y'all, not me. There's not one spot, one wrinkle in my life. That's a whole lie, but I'm just saying it because it just made me feel good. Anyway, this is what's going to be happening on tonight. You're going to hear me give you this offer over and over to become a part of Patreon. And the reason is I have so much going on there. And this week, the first episode of Reading Things My Way, it drops this week. The first episode, there are already some behind the scenes that's already up in Patreon right now. And let me tell you, this show, we've already been recording it. It is taboo. You'll cry some. You'll be shocked. You'll get mad. Probably mad at me. Probably mad at Lisa because something she done said to me or somebody done said to her or something I said to the children. You're probably going to love me more or hate me more. But you need to go over there and become a patron by going to LarryReidLive.com, click Patreon, so that you can see whether or not you really like me or hate me or not. Because you're going to get to see all into my life. And everybody connected to me, you're going to get all into their business as well. Let me tell you. Make a decision right now to have these experts and this entertainment and education and empowerment in your ear for the next year. It's the best thing that you can do for your life and your family and for your business, because I'm going to be sharing business secrets and also tools that you can use in order to build your own platform so nobody will own you like they trying to do. Take your talent and then they own it, making money off of you. No, you can make money off your own self and what God done gave you to do. All right, so thanks to all of the patrons that have signed up to Patreon. And if you are not a patron, go to LarryReidLive.com right now, click Patreon, or go to Patreon, Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. And I also want to thank each and every one of you that send in donations every time you see me live, whether it's from my bedroom or here on set or in my car. You see me live and you support Black business. Thank you so much, because I'm not the only employee of the My Breakthrough Now network that sponsors Larry Live. There are others with families and children. So thank you so much for supporting. And you can support tonight. I have my mentor that's going to be on tonight. He's already ready and getting in that square. You're going to see him pop up over there from New York, live from New York, right here in Atlanta. So thank you for your support. And this is how you can support: Venmo and Cash App at symbol MBN, that's 2 N's, MBNNetwork on Venmo. On Cash App, the $ MBNNetwork, 2 N's. Or you can Zelle info at the MBNNetwork, 2 N's.org. Info at the MBNNetwork.org. That's how you can support us. Or you can text to donate, text to give, text the word give to 404-845-30. And everything you donate here is tax deductible. Why? Because My Breakthrough Now, it is an actual ministry and nonprofit. And that's why we have so much in the subscriber base. We are running a full blast cyber church over there. And it is extremely, extremely good. A safe community. So you should go ahead and make that decision and become a patron tonight. So if you want to support tonight, click give. Text the word give to 404-845-30. Or go to the website. Those of you in other countries that love this platform, you always go there and do it through PayPal, LarryReidLive.com. When you click PayPal there, you'll see the My Breakthrough Now network information and emblem come up, because that's who you're donating to. And then there are others of you that like to send in stuff. And I like to thank you for the first few minutes of the show. We don't have a whole lot today. I want to first thank Gwendolyn Smith, who has decided to send a donation to make sure that she is supporting this platform. And what I like about what she sent in here, this one, Gwendolyn, oh no, you didn't, this not to the platform, this to me. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. Oh, you work for GM. You make the big books. I see. Wait a minute, hold a minute. You work for GM overseas? Hold on, what's this? Where is... Oh, no, it's not right. No, GM here in California. Thank you so very much, Gwendolyn, for your support. And then somebody just wanted to send me and the staff a Christmas card. I opened it up and the glitter went all over me. I hate glitter, but I love you. God bless Howard Heyman, Annual LR Patreon member. Thank you so very much. She says Merry Christmas to you, Joseph. She says Merry Christmas to you. So can y'all talk in y'all mics until
Thank you muchly. Thank you muchly.
Okay.
Who said it again?
Gwendolyn, that's the name to
Merry
the
Christmas, Gwendolyn.
Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you. All right, now, Barbara J. Ford decided that she wants to support the platform, and she sent in 2 checks, and one of them for me. Thank you. She sent one to the MBNNetwork donation. That's the double. What you send to me, don't even matter. They won't even recognize it up there. I don't think they do. Do they? If you give it, I don't know how that works. I don't think they work like that. But I just know what you do to MBNNetwork. You know, you can find that on your taxes and all that kind of going on. All right, then there's also, let me see, Rochelle Jones. She did the same thing. This is so nice. Y'all sent it to the MBNNetwork and sent something to me, direct to me. Thank you so very much for that. And then there is D.A. Paramore, faithful almost every week, sending money order. Thank you so very much for that. Then there's a prophetess, somebody sent beneath the lap scar. Wait. I always want to see beneath the lap scarf. Every time I see a lap scarf in my mind, I'm like, I want to sing. Jeanette Darcy. I'm just saying. I'm not a lust box. I mean, but I am a man with eyeballs and balls. But when I see, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Oh no, the prophet is here tonight. I can't cut up, it's so bad. Beneath the lap scar. I guess she sent me this because she want me to read it, or she figured I was going to hold it up and tell everybody about it. It's not the same, baby. Jeanette Darcell Campbell, ministry to those who are married to ministry. So this looked like it may be the story of some first ladies. Beneath the lap scarf. That's what it looked like. This could be very interesting and messy. I like when ministry and messiness joins together. I enjoyed it. It's so entertaining. Oh, she gave me a letter. Greetings in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm so grateful for you. Your show has been a blessing to me. It has provided me with laughs, tears, and empowerment. I felt led to send you a copy of my latest book, Beneath the Lap Scarf. I will be honored to share my story with you because of you. I had the boldness to release it. Oh, that is so good. Unapologetically. I hope you enjoy it. Hope to hear from you soon. Peace and blessings. Prophetess Janetta D. Gilliam Campbell. You got a whole lot of words in your name. All right. Is that it? All right, that's it. Tonight, I want to say thank you to everyone. If you're watching and you want to send something in, you can do it by putting MBN Network, Larry Live, or my name on it and send it to 780 Morosgo Drive. That's 780 Morosgo Drive. And then you put the hashtag 244224, so make sure it gets to our suite. Atlanta, Georgia, 30324. That's 780 Morosgo Drive, Northeast, 244224. Atlanta, Georgia, 30324. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have America's Black Prophet of God to the whole wide world. I want you to listen to me. Is who? America's Black Prophet of God. Of God. Make sure you got to put that in there. And then this part, to the whole wide world. Because this man has an eagle's eyesight when it comes to what God is saying to us as a collective, and he's been doing it for a whole leap of years. I just feel like this is just the proper time for a voice, a sound, a sight like this man. And I'm so honored that it is this platform that has been able to push his voice out even the more in a new way. You may have known him from BET years ago with them long dreadlocks. And now he has resurfaced, and it is for this hour. Many months ago, let me catch y'all up. This is part 14 on December the 14th. Look at all these numbers lining up. I'm the 12th month. I'm telling you to sign up for 12 months, and then the 12 times 12, 144, and that happens to be the annual fee. See how that lining up? And then this is part 14 on 12/14. That 12, when they say that 12, that's the government, the apostolic. My God. This is so wonderful. And then you do the 12 and 14 together. That's 4 and 4. That's 8, ain't it?
That's right.
We can't. Let's let this go because we just can't. 144. That's the 9. See, y'all don't even know what all that means because you're not in Patreon, so you don't even know the power of these prophetic numbers and what 9 meant last month. I'm telling you guys, you gotta get in Patreon, and you got to quick because this price is going up, and you won't be able to get in there so easy. So if you do that tonight and become an annual subscriber, you will be locked in until Jesus come back to get me. I mean the church, the body of Christ. But he's coming back for for a church without spot or wrinkle. And so you better lock it in until they come get us. All right? And you do that by going to LarryReidLive.com to Patreon. So America's black prophet to the whole wild world is on now. I want you to get your pen, get your paper, because y'all, we never know which way it's gonna go and what's gonna roll up out his mouth. But this one thing we do know: what he say comes to pass. Many months ago, right here on this platform, he began to chatter with us in March. On this platform, where the way was already made for this level of the prophetic. It was in February. I'll let you guys know what hit my heart, my mind concerning this pandemic. It was going to be airborne. The people on the TV can't listen to them. They're going to be lying and hiding. We're going to end up in masks. So much more that was revealed. And in a conversation, I think, that Bishop had with one of his spiritual children, his prophets, they reminded him of a book he had wrote. And in this book, it's called, first of all, the name of the book is called Written Judgment. You should have it. Everybody should have it by now. You see it on your screen. BishopJordan.com, volumes 1 through 4. Now, this book was written in the 80s and 90s. I think the last revision was in 97, I do believe. And he wrote so many things in it that's happened in our world. But as relates to this disease, he was spot on how it would affect the school, how it would affect the church. And this is why we've been doing the Church in the Pandemic Part 1 now through 14. And those of you that are taking this year to really pull away and get your whole heart and your mind right, you're going to need this number to call in every once in a while when you ain't doing nothing during the day, just to listen to some spiritual talk. 515-604-9266. The prophetic revival is 24 hours. He started it at the top of the pandemic. And at the top of the pandemic, we also started our prayer on Sundays. At any given time, you can call in 515-604-9266 and you can hear prophetic chatter, teaching, even a moment to give prophetically and receive prophecy. And that's happening with Zoe Ministry. So we have the founder that is with us, America's Black Prophet of God to the world, your most trusted name in prophecy, a master prophet, which means he is a master in the prophetic. And he's also the papa prophet of a company of prophets. They call him Master. Master. Your master going to be taken from your head today. Y'all remember that scripture? All right, so he's here. Bishop E. Bernard, Archbishop E. Bernard Jordan. He's here. Bring him over. Hey, Bishop.
Bless you. And how are you, Larry?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. I hope that everybody can hear you well. Let's check our sound. Let's go ahead and Bishop, you can just give us an intro. His sound is good. All right, we're good, Bishop.
Good.
Yeah, we can hear you good. I have not talked to Bishop Jordan on the phone.
Yeah, you've been ignoring me.
No, if you call it, I didn't say Bishop, but I'm glad because I want to do like this. I haven't talked to Bishop Jordan on the phone in about 4 days.
I tried to talk to you today, and you said you don't talk to me before the show.
So I haven't talked to Bishop. I mean, we've been texting, but we have not talked on the phone for 4 days. So tonight, the exchange should be really good because you're going to get the eavesdrop on our conversation because we have not talked in about 4 or 5 days. I do think it has been. Yeah.
Oh my God! How much eavesdropping should they do, Larry? Has churches been meeting?
Okay, Bishop. First of all,
Okay.
let me tell you what's going on with the churches. Now, everything we can't say out here because this ain't Patreon, and
Oh,
I don't want to have to kill nobody because somebody come mess with you, I'm coming gums blazing. But there's something that is happening now with the church. I wish they had been listening to us, listening to what you have been saying, because now a lot of churches are beginning to experience a change in their climate and what's happening. And instead of embracing some of the things you have told us to do, to acquiesce to the future, they're reverting to what has worked in the past and trying to work it now, and it's not going well.
yeah. Larry, surely the Lord God, the scripture says in Amos chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he reveals his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And there's a reason why God put prophets in the earth. It's not like a psychic. For psychics, they have that little caption under there for entertainment purposes only. And I think what had happened with the church, we may have slipped into that the prophets became more for entertainment only. Who could call out the person's name, addresses, who could give the most profound prophecy or the word of knowledge. And it became entertainment until a real moment came in history known as a pandemic. And now all of a sudden, the voices seemingly went mute in the moment. And it is usually in these types of hours that the prophetic voices emerges when you look in scripture during times of famine, during times of pandemic, during times of calamity. But we also see that during those hours is where the people of God usually ignores the word of God. I mean, look, Noah preached for how many years and only got 8 people saved? Right? Same going to rain. So in March, when you opened up the platform and we began to talk about it, and the word of the Lord began to come, and the Spirit of the Lord spoke to us here. We gave what we felt was the mind of God, and of course it bears out. And one of the things we said that our churches would be closed for months of Sundays. Well, we're now in the 9th month that our church has been closed. I went into the building the other day to go pick up something and turn my key in the door for the first time in 9 months. And turned on the lights in the building for the first time in 9 months. Stood on the stage for the first time in 9 months. Looked over all the empty seats. And one of my adjutants said to me, Bishop, do you miss it? I said, no. He says, you don't miss it? I says, no. They says, why don't you miss it? We're in a new day. We're in a new age. We won't go back to what was. And the greatest part of suffering, Larry, is the non-acceptance of what is. The greatest part of suffering is you longing for something. But if you can begin to move into acceptance, you can begin to end that suffering.
Whoa.
Because now you start looking for the what's next.
Okay, let's take a moment and dissect that. Once you can embrace what is, then the suffering, it stops.
Yes. Once a woman accepts that she's pregnant and stops wishing she wasn't, then she stops suffering from, I'm sorry I got caught with this, right? Once a man begins to accept, I lost my job, his vision begins to open up and say, I can go ahead and start my own business. This was not a firing or a letting go. This was a promotion because evidently I outgrew the self that was working in that space or in that place. The ability to accept is the end of the suffering of the moment. And so oftentimes, people becoming non-accepting ends up missing the moment, or we can end up missing the voice of God in the moment that is giving us a clarion call to what is next.
Yeah, to the next phase or to what is to come. And what I've seen, this is the church in the pandemic, part 14. What I have seen is that it looks as though, and it's a mistake, it is not ministry, it is a mistake, in my opinion, that it's come back, or we're back, or we're about to, take back what Corona stole from us, and we're going to praise him anyway. Let's get back to the Lord's work. Let's get back to business. It's over for us. That is the not accepting and embracing what is at the forfeiture of the future that is calling you to something new and better.
Yep. The call of God is always better, but the call of God will start out messy with misunderstanding. Let's look on the day of Pentecost. When the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were in one place and one o'clock. They were sequestered, right? They were in the upper room for 120 days. Let's assume that they were sheltering in place, waiting to be endured with power from on high. Okay? But whatever they were doing, they were waiting for a moment. When the moment came, Peter had to stand up because there was a misinterpretation. There was a phenomenon that was happening that was never happened before. The Holy Spirit began to sit upon each of them, and they began speaking in tongues as the Spirit of God gave them utterance. And Peter had to stand up. Peter had to stand up and said, "These men are not drunk as ye suppose." They already had them listed to be a part alcoholics. They said they had too much to drink up there for 120 days. These people coming out drunk with stammering tongues. No, they were filled with the Spirit. And what happens is every new move of God or visitation of God will start out with a misunderstanding. It would be a misunderstanding, miscalculation, misdiagnose, and it will create usually an upset, because whenever God shows up on the scene, he shows up as a disruptor.
Whenever God shows up on the scene, he shows up as a disruption.
Yeah.
So are prophets disruptors?
Prophets are most definitely not only are they disruptors, they are also influencers. And so when we begin to look at the work of the prophet, they are the influencers. They're the disruptors of the day. Just like today, we have disruptive technology. We have fintech that is a disruptive technology. We look today, Visa, American Express, MasterCard is down year to date. But we look at Square, PayPal, they're up like 100% year to date. Why is that? We're looking at new forms of technology that is transferring money. And so when we begin to look at it, we are in the age, if I could speak prophetically now, we are in the age of the disruptive technology. It's a disruptive age. Look at the paperback book. I mean, I got a book here, but hardly nobody wants to buy the paperback. What do they want? They want the PDF version. They want the Kindle version. We have a disruptive technology, audiobooks today. You can download it and have it in seconds. Disruptive technology. DocuSign, you can sign legal papers on your computer today. Disruptive technology. And even with your computer is now in the palm of your hand in the form of a cell phone. Disruptive technology. And so you can use this technology, the Apple Watch. It can take your heart rate. Amen. You can measure how many steps you got going. We are in the age of disruptive technology. And what is happening in this hour is that God is calling the prophets and the church to upgrade their technology for ministry. So guess what? I got to get you out of the brick and mortar and into the click and order. You got to stop measuring footprints. I need you to start measuring fingerprints on keyboards. I need to move you and shift you in position to go fishing for men. And guess what? You will not be able to do it out of your brick and mortar. If you are in brick and mortar, you are out of order.
And there's a part of me that felt as though, because I pastored in the brick and mortar for 20 years. I know y'all didn't know that, did you? Yes. Did you know it?
I knew it.
You knew it? How did you know? Somebody told you?
You say it every day.
Oh, okay. I say it all the time. Okay. Okay, but anyway, so, and I look back at those times. Because now, like during the summer, when we started going into the prayer thing every week, there are people who say, I need a pastor. I want a pastor, and I want you to pastor me. I'm like, well, listen to my show. I pastor you. Listen whenever I'm talking, stuff will fall out my mouth. Let that pastor you. No, I want, okay, can you receive the tithe? I said, well, no, the My Breakthrough Now network, it is the same. We just changed the Breakthrough Church to the My Breakthrough Now network now, meaning digital on demand. I done that in 2015 because I had a revelation that the church was going to change and it was going to have to be streamed and online. So, and now that I sort of went back to that during the summer months, and I'm looking at how I hear so many testimonies daily and so many lives of the church touched around the world, thousands of people. I'm like, man, it was that concept. It was great, but I'm like, God, if I'm doing so much more now. Now it was not easy because it was a pain going from what I knew and to what I did not know. Then from getting familiar with sitting in front of a camera and talking to nobody. There's no audience. There's nobody shouting back at me. There's no organ. There's not all of that emotional thing that we normally get when we get together, and the electricity, that cross-pollination of that electrical energy that happens in our brains and happens in our nerve endings. I won't get any of that. So it was difficult. Do you feel as though, Bishop, or think, or what is the mind of God concerning? Do you think that maybe that way of church is over?
I'm not going to say it's over. I'm going to say it needs an upgrade.
Okay.
This is almost like saying, is the horse and carriage over? No, we still have it in Central Park today. You can go to Central Park and ride in the horse and buggy, right? But now we have cars, right? And so it's not over. Is candles over? No, but I don't want it to light my sanctuary anymore because there's light bulbs, there's electricity.
Okay.
I think what we have to look at, and this is where the painful part is, and you said this is excellent, Larry. I was in a meeting about 8 years ago when a selected group of people were called together that were leaders in industries. And they began to share about the different industries. I was probably one of the only of this hue of color in the room there. And while we were there, they were saying at that time that there would be no more need for consultants. And I was like, wow, because a lot of these people were consultants of major corporations. They says the age of consulting is ending. And they said the reason being is because where people would go to a consultant for information, you can get it online in the area of technology. And therefore, anything you need to know, goods, where to get things at the best price for your company or whatever, you no longer needed to go to a consultant because technology has shortened the distance. It says this is now going to be the age of coaches. And, you know, the whole room is listening to this individual that had consulted with governments around the world, said coaches. It says, yes. It says that the number one problem will be is a person will step into a place as a COO or a CFO or a CEO or run a company, and they may have the book wisdom, but they're going to need a coach to shift their way of being so that they can handle the environment and the culture or the new culture that they're now standing in. Mm-hmm. So, of course, you've allowed me in a certain aspect of your life.
Okay, let's make this clear. I don't like that thing. That's too loose. You are my mentor, my coach. You are my master. You are my spiritual father. Let's make that clear.
Okay. You know, every time people say that, it just it's so humbling for me. Because the weight of the responsibility of that is so great.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm shocked at the people that are craving for sons.
Yeah.
I run away. I've had some people say to me not too long ago, "You're my father." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, I'm not your father. I said, "We have a great relationship." I said, "But I can't be your father." And they said, "No, but I want you to be my father." I said, "No, you have other fathers you can go to be there." But Larry, you getting back on the serious side of this, because you opened your life to that coaching dimension, it was able to shift your way of being. Yes. To begin to master the environment and the culture that God had given you. Without that, you would have shipwrecked. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with a shipwreck, because you can still survive on pieces. Don't make me go preaching out of Acts. Mm-hmm. Some came through on boards, other through pieces. Mm-hmm. You were able to bring your whole ship in with it surviving a storm. That is what a coach is needed for. Mm-hmm. And so here lies the dilemma. Many preachers, or not even preachers, people in business have not learned how to pivot.
Yeah.
For the environment that they're set in. And if you don't know how to pivot, you're going into a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Life will keep going from one shipwreck to another shipwreck to another shipwreck. And when you are a large church, right, or even a small church, the pivot of a small church is different from the pivot of a large church. This is not a one size fit all.
Yes.
And so you got to know how to pivot. There are companies, like, for instance, I'll give you an example, a large ship, Disney, large ship, massive, make their money off of amusement parks, pivot to streaming, right? Hollywood, pivot, meeting now in bubbles, right? And they got to do in the bubble for so many days and then out. I was talking to a Hollywood director on the other day. I said, we have to do COVID test every day, telling me how much it is that they, it costs them, how they're sitting here in this bubble. And then we got into a conversation about the church, upgrading the technology and pivoting. And listen, we're not going to be out of this. Well, we told you before, put it on your calendar. We'll be out about 2023.
Yeah. We told you that. Bishop told you that. It came through in March, April, no later than May. We was clear on that before the scientists began to confirm the prophetic. I also want to say this, and I'm going to reiterate this. Though many of you that are watching me, you cannot afford more than likely to sit at the foot of a master, because a master is going to require such a great sacrifice to get what they have mastered manifesting in your life. But one of the things we're able to do through Patreon is that my team of therapists and those that are in my life, because I have a master, which is Bishop E. Bernard Jordan, that is in my life, and he comes over and speak to us privately. He'd be in before the end of the month and discusses things that cannot be discussed here, along with doctors, therapists, and things of that nature. And it's important to have a master in your life, or a coach, a mentor. All of that is the same thing. Well, in my opinion, when I say master, it's not just the coach, it's not just the mentor, but somebody who is because the reality, anybody who's farther along than you can probably give you some kind of sight or whatever. But a master like you, I'm a master as well.
Yes,
I know.
And Larry, and I've shared with you time and time again that you need to do coaching in social media, because the platform you have built is not only an amazing platform, it has been divinely inspired. Mm-hmm. And you're probably one of the forerunners when it's interesting, because these things won't be told until a certain amount of time lapse. But you're one of the most forerunners of influencers to know what influence is. Because there's a lot of people that are online, but they cannot generate revenue. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't generate revenue, let me be nice. If it doesn't generate revenue, it's a hobby. Okay? We're going to be nice.
Nice and shady. But having you as a master, and I'm just wanting to show people this. I'm having him, because nobody was saying what he just said about what I was doing. I always had to explain myself. I still have to actually I don't have to explain myself today. I just choose to, because it provides content and a great moment for laughter or whatever. But having you as a master, as a pattern. I see the church people, I'm looking at some of the church people and I say, master, the Bible said, call no man master, or master nobody but the Lord. I said, that's why y'all broken, dumb, and stupid. Let me say it like that. This ain't on Bishop Jordan, this is Larry Live. Dumb, broke, and stupid, and probably ugly. And it's a shame, because we're people of God, as followers of Jesus Christ. We should really be the light of the world, but instead we're the dummies of the world. Because we got people like Oprah, we got people like these big networks, tech, Disney, who have master classes. And they say, we bringing in the masters, and people pay thousands of dollars to sit at the master's feet to learn how to pivot, grow, upgrade. And your toe up nasty, no good behind, it's still talking about call no man master. And you stupid. And so I just can't no more. As I'm in this last season, and I love everybody. But this is why I told them the other day, we was having a church meeting. I said, look, they 280 something of y'all. I said, I got 20 more slots. I said, I'm only doing 300 members. Y'all have 2 years with me to produce. Everybody who ain't producing 2 years, we're kicking you out of the ministry and we're opening up for somebody else. And they're like, what? What is this? It's not church. You call what you want to. I don't have time to fool up with people that's not producing. How that is going to benefit you or me? It makes no sense. If you're not growing and becoming your own master, then what in the whole hell in the heaven we doing in these here streets? We're wasting up time. Somebody else can have this time on Zoom, size us. So I want you guys, let me finish the statement, Bishop. I got some more for us. I want you guys that are listening to me, find you a master, and you probably can't afford one. You're in there talking stupid in the chat. So you probably need to scrape up $144 and sign up tonight so you can have access to my masters. Because I hate to see you in this state. I don't want you to stay in that state. But I just got to tell you the truth and tell you the hard truth. This is the reason why your life is fucked. to the high heavens. Now, this is on me, not on the bishop. Our ministry is a little bit different. A little bit different. A little bit different. All right, Bishop, go ahead and take it away. We come back into Jesus. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Reid.
Thank you, Jesus.
Let's give Larry Reid a hand. Did you get that hand clap?
I got it. It came through.
Okay. Larry, I want everyone just to type this in, and then we'll understand it better by and by. Type in, if I am not a master, I am a disaster.
I like that.
If I am not a master, I am a disaster. So you're put on earth to become a master of something. Most people become jacks of all trades and yet a master of none. There's something that you've got to become single focused at. And when you are a master, it simply means you are a teacher, a rabbi. You know, thou art a teacher that comes from God. You're now able to teach and pass on to someone else and begin to empower. So, not explaining that, but when you get ready to go to your next level of assignment, I have many coaches that are in my life. I have master teachers, I have master coaches that are in my life that help me work through process, even help me work through family. You know, as I grew, I needed to have wisdom how to grow my family along with me so that we didn't have two different families under one roof.
This is what I'm dealing with right now, Bishop.
No, this is real. And not only you dealing with it, 90% of the people that's listening right now is dealing with it, right? So watch this. You start to grow and embrace ministry, right? Mm-hmm. And you've said yes to God.
Mm-hmm. 4 years.
But everybody else never got an opportunity to say yes. They was dragged into the purpose because as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Come on, Bishop.
Now you got to return and you got to start teaching the household, this is the way we've got to go. And I remember, and I mean, we had some rough moments. I mean, I've even had it where, you know, I would say, you can talk to this one, you can't talk to that one. You can fellowship with this one, you can't fellowship with that one. You can go here, but you can't go over there. And they'll sit there and say, I can't say, in Patreon, I'll tell you, some of this we did today. My family has been, they've been coached.
Yeah.
And the coaching practice was necessary. You got to train up a child and a person in the way they should go. So when they get old, they do not depart. Or when I should say it like this, because if you don't train up, the train will derail if you don't keep it on track. And it even got to the place that I had to get involved in the schooling and the education of our children. I had to look and see whether the school they were in going to keep them on track. If not, I got involved and took them off that track. Mm-hmm. If teachers was not right, teaching in the right curriculum. I was at PTA meetings. My children were scarred. They said they used to hate seeing me come to school. I used to jump out the limousine with my cape on, and they would be whispering all through the school building. They were the only black children in the school anyway. Your father's here. And I met with principals, superintendents of the school. I had them discontinue a book inside the school that they were going to because it said something, you know, it says something about black folks in the fourth grade. They took that out of their whole curriculum because my black child was in there.
Yeah.
And then I turned around and had the child skip the grade because they only had one grade per class. So you can imagine this is a, kind of a school where it's kids in the school, computers in every classroom. And we're talking now this back about a good 20, almost about 15 years ago to 20. This was like privileged education that was done with tax dollars. I didn't even know they had public schools like this until I was in this particular zip code. And that's when I realized the education was different, whereby in the urban areas, they weren't even getting notebooks, textbooks, but yet in certain other areas, they had computers. Now, why did I go in that direction? You've got to get involved on the track that your people are going to be on. Yeah. And not only just your children, your spouses, your family members, your brothers and sisters. I used to tell family members, say, listen, this is our last name. If you're going to do something crazy, lose the last name.
Please,
lose. And I would tell my children, lose my last name.
And this has turned into a bit of a master's conversation, because and like I said, you get the eavesdrop. At this moment, I will be saying back to Bishop, that just happened. We just had the conversation a few minutes ago. Somebody hit Lisa up, said, "Well, we're checking to see how you're doing because your daughter's dead." And she's like, "What? My daughter's upstairs." Then she was put into a live where all these children are playing sad music and remembering Xaria because she's dead. And we have been talking to her about her friends, how they're ghetto and straight from hell. And this was a great example. So we went into the whole conversation. We were trying to get them to choose different friends. And I have to know their name. I want to know who their parents are, what zip code they live in, because they come from certain areas. Then it's going to be a different kind of screening to see who these people are, and that has to be. I'm saying, y'all don't understand. You can't be out there in them streets and online posting stupid, crazy bull and then talking about that your daddy is Larry Reid when there are people with websites and YouTubers waiting for something to happen off crazy. I said, your last name is Reid. I said, now if you want to go do something else, I said, leave your last name here. I said, I'm leaving you go do that. That's what you go do. So, and people don't understand that kind of language, So when I spoke concerning those 300 members, it was a little bit of a shock. I said, we won't need no more than 300. And I said, and this is that's all I can handle right now because I got too much going on and And then you need to produce in 2 years or somebody else gonna take your slot and we're going to the next person. And that's the kind of language. Now, we got to leave that there. That's going to be Patreon. There's some questions I got to ask you tonight concerning the church and the pandemic. Today, Bishop, is a historic day. It is the day that the Electoral College, they have certified that Biden is our president. This is also a new moon today, and there's something prophetic concerning that. This is also the first day that vaccines were given out outside of clinical trials. So where's the prophetic, what's up? Tell us where we're at, where we're going, December into January, February. What is up? What are we about to see?
Okay. December, January, February, more dead bodies.
Wow.
Okay. I told you we had to watch from the 15th to the 15th. Mm-hmm. Last night, my wife and I we had gotten some sad news. And I told you that we would begin to see from the 15th of November to the 15th that we have to pray that we get some of these leaders through to the other side, right? Because what's getting ready to happen now, things are going to accelerate. So I've got a call in the middle of the night that the prime minister of a particular country that we are prophesied to left out last night as a result of COVID.
Wow.
They had notified me, and I was asking questions about His Majesty. They said he hadn't been notified yet, but they wanted me to be able to know first. They wanted me to know. And this was a man that, now watch this, Larry. This was a man that was pulled out of a crowd of 1,000. Says, you're going to occupy one of the highest positions of the land. This man just, he's like a regular man. He wasn't even in politics. He was working for a mobile company. Out of nowhere, several years later, His Majesty makes him the Prime Minister of the nation. They fly us in almost 2 years to the date. We laid hands on him, prophesied to him. Whenever he would come here to the United Nations, he would send for me. He just didn't send for me this last time. Well, I don't think the UN may not have been in session this last period. They would send for me. I would have escort. They would have secret services all on the different floors there at the hotel. They would usher me up, and they would inquire of the word of the Lord. Hadn't heard from him in a year, and now he goes to sleep with the elders. I now began to start looking, and we're doing communion every day up until the 15th. Tomorrow is the last day that we're doing the communion. We did the communion every day for 30 days straight. I felt like we needed to get ready for this next season. This next season, Larry, unfortunately, is going to take out major voices. Major voices. And it is going to be the season that people of God need to be prayed up, but they need to do something else that I'm going to mention in just a little while. Okay. So that is one thing that's getting ready to happen. We're getting ready to see the curfews, as was written in written judgments. We're getting ready to see curfews visiting our city. We just got word today that they're closing all New York restaurants. Okay. Now, when I walk outside, Larry, it feels like a regular day. I'm gonna be honest with you. It feels like that we can go have church tomorrow and have midweek prayers meeting and tell everybody, come on in and let's have church. I don't know how to say this. They know something we don't know. And now the vaccine.
Yes, that's what I'm going to ask you about.
I'll say more to you about this in Patreon. Okay. But I will say this. The vaccine will give a shot of hope for a season. And they'll have some hope for about 3 months. And then the truth is going to come out. And that's the way I'll leave that for now. Because we said maybe 2 broadcasts ago or so that we would need to, I said, you're going to start hearing about the herd immunity. So because things have seemingly hit this tipping point, we're now going to be rushed into this herd immunity, look like, according to science. And that means 70%. And we talked about this 70% around about March or April.
We did.
We talked about it right here on this platform. 70% will have to go through this virus.
Yes.
In order for it to die out. The problem is not the virus. The problem is the immune system.
Yeah.
And with what you've been sharing with people about health, what we've been sharing with people to do about health, and what you've been doing in Patreon and bringing professionals there that have been there educating the people, we've been doing it here in our church. We even send out live, well, you get them, live vegetables
Yeah.
straight from the farm and moving you into as much organic as possible. The building up of the immune system is going to be key. And I hate to say it, we have now reached a place where I think every American is going to be on their own. And we pretty much have to say, bid you Godspeed. That is where it's beginning to climb. And we will start to see people falling asleep. I mean, here with you today and just not here tomorrow. And the frustration of that is going to be is that there's going to be this big question, why? And they're going to try to find rhyme and reason. Now, the different strands of this virus that is getting ready to come is, I don't understand this. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I can only tell you how I see things prophetically. I keep seeing different viruses begetting the next virus. And so, you know how you give, you know how you had the decon poison that used to kill the mice, but now the mice is chewing it like bubble gum, and it's moving on and it doesn't kill them anymore? I keep finding the next stronger thing because they're going to keep mutating. And I think that's what we're getting into, and this is part of the prophecy and the written judgments about the viruses making mockery of medical science. So it's good that they did this today. That's good. It's good that it would be good for some of you that are well enough to get the vaccine to go and get it.
Well enough.
That, yes, if you're well enough, you should go and get it. And this is going to open up a lot of dialogue for the future. Now, what this will bring, let me give the ray of hope.
Okay.
It will bring a lot of African Americans into science and into medicine in 2021 and 2022.
To the forefront.
They're not only going to come to the forefront, Larry, there's going to be programs that's going to put African Americans into schools and into systems to learn medicine.
Wow. And
you're going to start to see that open up because, again, America is going to, America has a window of grace. The Electoral College happened today. Yes, the first vaccine took place today, right? America has a window of grace from now until 2024 to get it right. If he doesn't get this window of grace, hear me what I say. If she doesn't get this right in the next 4 years, America's going to go back to business as usual. And it is going to be worse than we've ever seen in the history of America in 2024. We are literally in a space of grace.
Okay. All right, got that. Okay, some of the things that we've heard from the scientists, and those of you that are watching, I'm talking to America's Black Prophet of God to the world. He's your most trusted name in prophecy. He's been one of the key fathers in the prophetic in our country and in the church for many, many years. The book that he has written is called Written Judgments, and its last print, well, I think was revision was in late 90s, and this is
96 and 90, 1996 and 98 was the fourth volume.
okay. And in those volumes, so much was disclosed concerning where we are today, particularly as relates to this disease, our school system, America, what is happening here. And so I'm speaking with him. This is part 14. Make sure you go back and watch the other parts concerning the church and this pandemic and get the book tonight. Some of the scientists, they've said some things as relates to Christmas. Christmas is coming up, Bishop. We want this. I want to see you so bad. I ain't seen you since January. Everybody want to go see their loved ones and people.
Stay where you're at.
Say again?
Please stay where you're at.
Bishop, I don't know if I like the way that you said that.
But Larry,
I'm going to stay where I'm at, but
I know you are, but it wasn't really for you. It was for the people that's listening.
okay.
We were prophesying about this air quality. This air quality is not going to be good, especially in these closed spaces. There will be another window to come out, and when I come back with you, I'll give you the exact season. But there'll be another window to come out, and it will be sometime around about May or June. I'll give you the exact dates. I think it's about May or maybe April. It may be the end of April. I'll give you the exact time. There's going to be another window that is going to be able to come out. But when you come out in May, I just see people shaking their heads because everyone will have a story. And then we'll rush into everyone will have a story. But in February of 2022, everyone will lose at least one close loved one.
Yeah, I see that. Now they're telling us going into because we want to go around our family, and we're gonna have so many people who are having to change the plans because now the scientists are saying if you're having Christmas with people out, this was said today, if you're having Christmas with people outside of your household, you need to assume when you leave that you've been infected. That was Dr. Burke.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
wow.
that came out today. If you're having Christmas with people outside of your household, you need to assume you're infected. So begin to move about as if you are infected. And they begin to explain now how the mask, now we had already told you guys this, but the mask and stand a meter apart, it is 72% reduction to transmission. And I didn't even send you this because we ain't really been talking on the phone last 4 or 5 days. But there's so many church services, convocations that have been happening, and people have been side by side, Bishop, in South Carolina, hucking and bucking. Now, there were some that were masked, some improperly masked, but we saw the improper masking at Rance Allen funeral, and they were side by side, and people left there allegedly with infections. So the scientists are now saying you got to have the mask and you need the distance to shut it down 72%. And they're even saying if you're eating outside and there's not any space, it doesn't really help as much during the fall and winter as it did in the summer because there's no sun and there's no heat that's breaking down the virus. And they said that if you're going to be inside, pull all of the windows up and turn all of the ceiling fans on to where it's pushing, it's pulling the air where it goes upward, the fan where it goes in the opposite direction that creates circulation, but you still inside the house should be masked because they said the transmission is just getting horrendous, worse and worse. How are you going to you are a loving father and grandfather. You love to have your family around. How are you going to deal with this? How are you handling this? What are the precautions you're taking?
Well, our children don't go to the school. They do all of their schooling here inside the house here. So that's the way that is done. Both of the chefs, one chef stays here with us on the premise, and the other chef goes back and forth from the apartment to here. The good saving grace is that we have people that are, in touch with their health professionals, and as soon as they get, a fever, or if they get a fever or get any upset, they immediately stay home and start looking to see what's happened, if their medication, their dosage has got to be changed or whatever of that nature. But we don't really do a bunch of entertaining. We just can't. I got a lot of people says, I'd like to see you. And I says, no, it probably won't be a good time. Then there's others that have come that may come for a visit or so. They'll probably be in a mask, the entire time or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I don't do a whole lot. And I went out to the mall today to get a shade because that's where my barber's at. And I'm walking around in the mask the entire time. I mean, it's just what it is. But then I'm working out, running 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. I'm taking my vitamin D every day. Mm-hmm. I'm taking my zinc every day. I'm taking my omega-3 every day. And then I'm on some mushroom supplements I take every day. I do a lot of things to build up my immune system. Mm-hmm. And that's the way we're going to, because everyone is going to be at risk and is going to pass through. It's going to be like a cloud that's going to sweep through. No one's going to be exempt from it sweeping over their soul. Question is, when it sweep over, hopefully it passes over because it doesn't find anything to latch on to take you out of here. Now, I don't think there's I don't think that if you get it, it's a lack of faith.
Right.
I think if you get it, it meant that you violated something.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want people to get, a matter of fact, I was talking with some elders that said that had gotten the COVID. I said, we're glad to know that you have it. This way, when people are leaving out, I can tell people, says, I can't come, but elder so-and-so can come. Why? Because they have a full dose of what you call that?
Antibodies.
They have a full dose of antibodies. And I have some elders that one went to the doctor that says, you have a full load of antibodies, says you're good for the next year. Mm-hmm. You go visit the sick for me. And he's pretty much saying, not a problem, Bishop. And so we don't want people to feel as though if they get it, that they've done something wrong or they have sinned. Yeah. I don't think that that's the story or the narrative, because some of the people that have gotten this, the COVID, after the 14 days, some of the people I've talked to still are not right.
Well, see, that's the thing that I want to focus on the platform, because it was about this 90% survival rate. Okay, fine. But when it comes to the quality of life, every person I know that has had COVID-19, quality of life was changed forever. Well, as far since they had it, quality of life has totally changed. And then there's those that have gotten the vaccine that have just about lost their mind. and has so many other complications. So I think that the way to fight this disease, alongside of prayer and all those wonderful things, is just build your immune system and eat as if you have to go through the COVID-19 and you only have your immune system to rely upon.
Right. So what they're saying also, because of the less sun, because we're in this winter months, you're getting naturally less vitamin D.
Yeah.
Right? Whereby before being out in the sun about a half hour a day, probably black folks need to be out there about an hour a day to get your vitamin D in because of the melanin in our skin. Now, some of my members have gone to doctors and they had to fight to get their vitamin D numbers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I went through that.
They're not willingly telling you what you do. So, and then when they get them, some have gotten them and they told them it was 30 something. It says, okay, this is not good. And the doctors tell them, no, you're good.
Yeah.
They say, I want it up to 80 because, they've talked to certain other health professionals and they had to fight. And then the doctor finally writes them a prescription and get them the dosage of vitamin D that they should be taking in order to get their D levels up to where it needs to be so that their immune system is in place.
Some of the doctors that I've had in Patreon, that was what those doctors, experts, talked about, because they were people. I had people in there saying their D3 was 12, 6.
Mm-hmm.
And some that were saying, oh, it's 60, and the doctor told them that it was great. And the two doctors that come over there, they said, no, it's not. We're in a pandemic, and you are a person of color. It needs to be 80 plus every single day because we're in a pandemic. It almost make you think that are these people working together to try to take us out? I mean, why are you doctors telling us we're good at 30? And one of the key things that they found in COVID patients is that all of them, the more severe case, the lower the D3. Those that had a higher D3, they're more apt to be asymptomatic. I made a decision in my head, to just move around like I'm asymptomatic, so that I'm making sure that I'm not being less than proper around other people. That's how I and I think we all should be operating like that we're asymptomatic. We make sure that we're keeping everybody else, safe.
Yeah. I had one person went to the doctor, and they finally got their vitamin D numbers, and through pulling strings, they finally got a vitamin D number. And they went to the nurse there and says, how are y'all all surviving this? And the nurses told them, said, we have to take vitamin D every day. Now, this is very interesting. This is in the state. This is very interesting, is that y'all are taking vitamin D every day. Why aren't y'all passing this on to the clients or to but you guys understand, certain, they're not designed to push vitamins.
They can't.
So
they're supposed to push medicine.
Yeah. So we need to create a. I don't know what we need to create. I had one person said to me, "Why don't I don't know if I'm gonna take the vaccine." I says, okay, if you don't, why don't you just go all out and stop taking, all the fast food stuff that you're eating and all the processed stuff you're eating? So that's doing just as much damage to your entire immune system and into your wellness. And I think that this is going to cause us to begin to start to revisit. I mean, I do a Hey Master Chef, and so I did a couple of cheat days.
Yeah.
So what I did is I had some eggnog because I love the taste of eggnog. I had eggnog. I had felt phlegm and mucus for about 2 days.
Yeah.
I said, this is not, there's something wrong. I had to get someone to help me, it was like sitting there. So I had to like take in the ginger. I started eating, I had ate a piece of bread and I got mucusy. I says, this is not correct. And so of course I had to reset. And of course the day we started back on our fast, because every new moon we start a fast. But I really get it. Our food, some of the foods that we're eating, Larry, is poison.
When we started the Build Your Immune System Health Challenge, I announced it out here, but we've really been pushing in Patreon, really keeping each other accountable. We remove red meat. And because we remove red meat, then that automatically, because I already I'm not a carb eater. I don't like pastas. I'm not a bread eater. I don't really like bread unless I can put it in some honey or something, so I don't always eat it. But when I do, it's on a pizza. But because we cut out the red meat, then there went pizza. That's time I have a cheat day. So my first cheat day I had with pizza, while I was eating it, I started having phlegm.
Yeah.
And I coughed. I said, wait a minute, what? I haven't felt phlegm in so long. And it had to be the cheese or either the bread. And I said, wow. I said, so this is coming from the food.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I began to look at the Food and Drug Administration. I said, no, wait a minute, why is Food and Drugs one administration? I said, wait a minute, are they killing us through our food? Make you wonder, what is America really feeling as it relates to us that are we all just science projects or what? This is very interesting to me. So those of you that are watching me that are so concerned, one of the main things you can do is just change your diet and just become more healthy in your choices along with your supplements. Don't start doing your supplements and then you're still sucking down all the wrong stuff. You're going to have to balance it out so that your immune system can be optimum.
Yeah, and it's got to become a lifestyle change, put workout in. I had a friend of mine who just got over COVID, and he said someone came to visit him. He said he was at 50% lung capacity. I didn't know he was sick. He says he just got over it. It was 2 weeks. He said someone stopped at his home for Thanksgiving to visit. Just watch this. One person came for Thanksgiving and gave everybody thanks.
Wait, Bishop. Not thanks. But see that's nervousing, if that's a word. Because I say I'm not going around in crowds. Even when I go to Walmart or to the mall, I make sure I'm timing stuff because I know you need 15 to 30 minutes exposure. It depends on how deep it gets into your system and things of that nature. So I'm paying attention. But I will let someone visit, come and say, okay, you wear your mask, and then sometimes in the conversation, however, you'll get more relaxed. And then have to remember, I say, you know what? All it takes is if that person has COVID, my whole house got it. Man.
But if I would say COVID, fear not.
Yeah.
I think that if you are in some of the best practices, you can come through the other side of it, And if people have been drinking the ginger tea, we've had ginger. We had at one point we had ginger in everything. We had ginger in the we had ginger in the homemade cookies, the ginger homemade cake. We had ginger in the drinks, ginger in the tea, ginger in the Kool-Aid, ginger, and we stay ginger up.
Yeah.
I think it's like you got to just choose health. I said before, your life and death, blessing and cursing, choose life. And I pray that our people start looking at healthy choices that they can make for them and for your household. And granted, your children may not like the choice that you make.
No.
I know my grandchildren are not crazy about all the stuff we eat. So, they thank God for Uber Eat. And as a result of that, I keep buying Uber stocks because they're going to keep Uber in business.
Over there in Patreon, Bishop comes over there and we have a more in-depth conversation. Some things we just cannot share out here. And there are 3,284 of you watching us on YouTube, and then on Facebook, there are 1.7 thousand of you watching us. I want to invite all of you guys into Patreon. Let me tell you some of the things that is happening in Patreon. Bishop Jordan, Carlton Pearson, George Bloomer, Therapist this, Doctor this, and then other friends and influencers who come on at any given time, exclusive interviews. That's something that hit Bravo about Jamal Bryant. We already knew 2 months ago because I talked to the lady and she called into and told us everything that now Bravo just finding out about. There's so many things that happen over there. You come over there, you get all those exclusive information. There's some things that God revealed to me and Jordan concerning stocks that has brought literally hundreds of thousands of dollars into people's lives over there. Also, I have a reality show. We've already started recording. The first episode drops this week. You get to watch it if you're a patron, absolutely free. Also, social media play that I was in with other influencers. Other people have to pay for it, but patrons get it free. There's so much that you get from being over there. This is the 12th month for $12 a month. 12 times 12, 144. $12 a month still right now in the 12th month. $144 a year. You sign up right now. LarryReidLive.com and click Patreon. Sign up for the annual. And let me tell you why I'm asking you to do this. Because you get all those benefits. But this month, we're doing debt-free December campaign. We are setting up the My Breakthrough Now network as a ministry to be doing nothing but putting out things for ministry and new hires and new things that we're doing. We're building 2 studios in the new facility. One that we go live from every Monday night, and a second one where you're able to come there to the facility with a live audience, and we are doing all of that right now. Next week, possibly, I may be coming live from one of them. It'll be all black because we still got to get it together. So when you sign up to become an annual, you are also assisting us in that. And some of you have made a decision to donate $1,200. And those of you that are doing that, you're going on a wall of fame inside the studio. Well, I think we got 2 or 3 that came through today. Yeah, and if you're in Patreon, you've already seen the studio, you've already seen the space. In fact, you've already seen the behind the scene for the Reading Things My Way show. All of that stuff is dropped over there. So I want to say thank you to those who have already donated. Those of you tonight that have already become a patron. Let me see who has became a patron tonight for a year.
Larry, how do I do the 1,200?
Right now, Bishop, you can do it through, put it up, Nancy. You can do it through Cash App. I know you don't like using that, but those of you that are watching, it's $MBN Network. Or Venmo, the @ MBN Network. Or you can go to the PayPal, which is the best way for you to do it. You go to LarryLive.com. and you will click donate, and the PayPal comes up for the My Breakthrough Now network, and you're able to do it right there. Or Zelle.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find it on Zelle, Larry.
It's the email address, Bishop, for the ministry. Info, INFO, at the MBNNetwork.org. That's 2 N's. So that's info at the MBNNetwork.org. Let's look. Okay, so Stevie, 144, thank you for a year. Lamika signed up for the month. Thank you so very much. Melt Smooth signed up for the month. Nikita for the month. Shermeta for the month. Robert for the month. Diana for the month. Gregory for the month. Tara McKnight for the year. You're locked in forever, 40 cents a day. Sherry Smith, locked in for a year. I want you guys tonight to start signing up. Stephine, I see you for the month. AMB for the month. Rianne for the month. John for the month. I see you there. I'm watching this right now. So those of you that are signing up, this is why this is happening in Patreon. Bishop, do you like Patreon? It really seems like you like Patreon than coming on the main show. That's what it seems like.
At Patreon, I can be totally free. I could thank you for that stock that the Lord had given you. Hana Isha Botalabos. Listen, we've been praising God. Listen, that Larry gave me a word. See, you see, God gives, even a prophet needs a word. I had a dream, and I wasn't sure about this one thing. And Larry said, I've been talking about this for 2 months. God said, whoo. And I acted on that. And when I acted on that, Larry, I wanted to make sure I get at least when I acted on that word, it doubled my yearly salary. I tell you, I had to begin to just talk in tongues and just start skipping. Larry D. Reid.
But Bishop, there's a stock that God gave you and some months ago, and we shared it with the people, and so many people have profited because they followed the direction of a prophet of God. Let me be clear, you guys. We don't know. Well, we know a little bit about the stock, but this ain't our profession. It's just if the word of the Lord comes, that word comes so that we might prosper. He said, if you follow the word of a prophet, you gonna prosper.
Larry, and that stock is still going up.
It's still going.
But we got one thing that's going to come out with that, which we believe is going to hit in March. Mm-hmm. And if people position it, it'll be their next breakthrough. They'll be hucking and bucking for the next 10 years.
Oh my God. Those of you that are on the financial wellness plan, I'm going to have a tip for you to make a draft out of one of the accounts, your retirement account, the one that you lord over. I'm not talking about your 401s and stuff like that, because Bishop is giving me a direction for me to do. So I'm going to take all of that wisdom out of that, then I'm going to dump it over there in Patreon in case one of you guys want to follow me with that. I mean, it's a step out, but I'm gonna trust this man right here with this because it worked for him, and so I'm gonna work it, and I'm gonna let you guys know about that over there on Patreon.
Well, I want to encourage you, if you're not in Patreon, go ahead and make a move in that direction. I've been blessed to come over there and join, and what amazes me, if you don't get there, if you don't get your squad on time, you got to be there. The people are there gathering, but freedom to share, to think of. I know one of the doctors that you have over there. We're taking her protocols now. which confirmed her protocols confirmed the same protocol as my anti-aging doctor who deals with anti-aging. And a matter of fact, he comes and make a house visit with us once a month with the whole family and give us Myers cocktail. I'll tell you more about that, all of what's in that whole mix up, which we would suggest people to take now during this winter months. That's one of the things we'll probably discuss. And I'm just sharing with you some of the protocols that we practice, some of the best practices that we've taken on. And then what is done for our children. They don't give the children that, but with the protocols that they put the children on, although the children will be asymptomatic, you still want to make sure that their immune systems are still strong, especially children that's got to be around other children. And so we really encourage people to be a part of Patreon because we have a lot of our members that go over on Patreon. And then you are dealing with stuff with mental health.
Yeah.
Now, there was something I was telling one of our prophetess Cheryl Clark about, and I know you have had her over there. She deals with mental wellness, about compartmentalizing. I looked at one of my granddaughters. I said, "Are you in class?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm in class." But she was in class in her bed. And I said, "Is this something new?" And so I began to inquire and how to begin to set spaces in your home that if you're going to be at work, then your work perhaps don't need to be done in your bedroom. You need to carve out a sacred space that is for your workspace. Like I'm going to go prophesy to people. I don't prophesy to people here in this space. I prophesy to my people in my prayer studio. Even when I'm doing the one-on-one calls in my home, I have a designated place unless I take it outside and then when I'm talking to them while I'm on my walk. But I usually have designated places. There's a lot of people that are homeschooling or doing certain things that they haven't designated spaces. So you almost need to create a feng shui in your house.
Yeah.
That if we're going to eat here, then this is the table we're going to eat at. If you must do homework there, then what would be the ritual to let it be known that this is now a learning space and not an entertaining space?
Absolutely. That's what we've done here, and when I'm here, I don't live here no more, but over there at my place. Bishop, I just got your 1200. So Bishop, your name is going to go on the wall of fame, and so we're actually going to have the names that are listed there for those who have assisted us in doing what we're doing and building that studio out for the live shows. And the live show, of course, we're only going to have 12 people, but it can sit more than that. But we're only going to have 12 people that's there to attend for the live show. And so that's going to be fun, and that's going to be great. And thank you so much for that, Bishop.
Amen.
Bishop, I don't even have the words. I don't know what we would do if we did not have your direction right through here. Your words have been extremely important to us as we're walking through the pandemic. And I hope that you will continue to accept my invitation every time I ask you to come over here.
Listen, I love it. I love the community, and I love the work that you're doing. And thank you for being one of the Black vocal, spirit-filled voices that are even addressing this issue and addressing the wellness of the community. And for this cause and for this reason, God has raised you up. Keep doing what you're doing. And as it says in Isaiah, cry loud, spare not. Amen. Lift up your voice like a trumpet in Zion. Show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sin.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this week because there's some mess. I don't even know what to say. It's a little embarrassing, but since y'all gonna put y'all stuff out there like that and it's out there on the streets already, y'all just don't know it because my job is to be scour these streets on social media streets. And it's already public, so I'm gonna bring it to the platform to discuss it and break it open, and maybe you guys can. I know we're gonna learn from it as we laugh along the way, but definitely gonna learn from it. There's some things that we definitely need to break open and discuss. What are you saying to me? Somebody want to hold on to know. Oh, Bishop, there are people that want to know, what is that thing sitting in front of you?
Oh, this is a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. And so when the people of God in our, when they give, we send them an Ark of the Covenant. And this is where they begin to learn how to build a place in their home that is set aside in their prayer room and build their altar unto the Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
and inside of the Ark of the Covenant here, this opens up on the top here. And so we've had people put their prayer requests or things that they're interceding on behalf of others. And I also take people through a ritual or a journey where we says, write down on a check to yourself what you want to see given to you, and place it in the Ark of the Covenant and hold that there in your consciousness. You don't have to discuss it, just hold it there.
Yeah.
Because it will come to you.
Now that mine, I have mine I have one that's in this house. I left it here since Pastor Brian is here, but we got 3 more that we got to open with the tallits and things of that nature. Now, if you all just like it because it's nice, you can order it from Amazon for about $20. But if you want one that is anointed and consecrated, has been repurposed by a prophet, Archbishop, then you go over there, and you find out what seed is attached to this thing that has been repurposed by this man of God. All right. Thank you so much, Bishop. I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna go and do some stuff I got to go do.
I'm gonna go get on my live conference call because I got to tell them what I am seeing for this next season. But I will say this to you before I go. This next year will be the year for the Black woman.
Whoa.
In the last solar eclipse on June 21st, we woke up in that solar eclipse with a yellow markings in the street in the White House that said what?
Black Lives Matter.
In the color of what?
Gold, yellow.
Follow the yellow brick road. It will be the year of Black women coming into major prominence all over America. You're going to see it in news media. You're going to see it in science. You're going to see the voices to emerge. It's going to emerge so until you're going to be shaking your head. You're going to be saying, where are the Black men? It's going to be that kind of overwhelm.
Well, great.
Going to begin to witness. I'll tell you more about that after the inauguration.
Okay. All right. Tonight on his line, he's going to it now. 515-604-9266. That's 515-604-9266. Going over there. He's going to be there in about 15 or 20 minutes. He'll be on. Thank you so much, Bishop.
God bless you, and thank you, family.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right, those of you that are watching and still on with me, I want you to see what happened behind the scenes the other day. I want you to look at where we're going to be building the new live audience and also where we're going to be having our weekly show from. which could be as early as next week, although it may not have everything totally done because the desks are being built, but he said they're going to be finished by Saturday. So go over there to Patreon and sign up. And those of you that are watching me that want your name on the wall, you can get your name on the wall for a $1,200 donation. Any of you, we only got a certain amount of wall though, so we can't take a whole bunch of everybody, although we need to. But you can do that. And I want to thank every last one of you that have hit like and hit share. Say, I don't have no money, but liking and sharing on your pages, following all of the social media, telling all your friends and family about this platform, that literally turns into dollars and cents. So thank you so much for doing that and doing it every time you see a post, every time you see a video. That helps what we are doing here. And I want to say thank you. Now get ready for this week. Turn your notifications on. Now I got to see how I'm going to do this, cause I got to do it. It's like I got to. So turn the notifications on, because there's some things I'm going to have to talk about this week. And I'm just going to shoot you a text and let you know that I'm on live. All right. I'll talk to you later. God bless you. And make sure y'all listen to Black Magic. And make sure you text Larry Live to 33222 so you can get that text when I sing y'all them live talking about them, all this nigga man that's out here. All right. What's right? Oh, the social media thing. Go ahead and play it. And y'all go stream it. Social Media Christmas. I'm in the play. And some others. You can go stream it tonight. It's $5.99. Rent it. You get it for 24 or 48 hours and you can watch. But here's the trailer. All right. I forgot.
Coming to a stream near you, Zuri Craig's Social Media Christmas comedy stage play featuring James Wright Chanel.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody! Hey, bro!
Shay Dickerson.
That be a candy cane in your pocket? Are you just happy to see missionary?
Larry Reid.
My name is Babatunde, given to me by my tribe.
Will Johnson.
We done had this conversation, and that boy always being a little.
Tim Scott.
Girl, this is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What you mean cow wine? This is milk.
Tanisha Wilson.
Negro, if the voices in my head says that you are a cheater, then you are a cheater. The hell I'm a lot of my stuff.
Zuri Craig's Social Media Christmas comedy stage play will be streaming for the month of December. For more information, log on to socialmediachristmas.tv.
Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text Larry Reid Live to 33222. That's the words Larry Reid Live with no spaces to 33222 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of the Patreon. Log on to LarryReidLive.com, click Patreon, sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.